the Black Diamond Trophy game between Virginia Tech and West Virginia. Why does it mean so much? Stay tuned in, and I'll tell you. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Couz's Corner, your go-to sports YouTube channel with a heavy dose of West Virginia Mountaineers. The Black Diamond Trophy game. Why is it so important to West Virginia fans and Virginia Tech fans alike? And why is it a rivalry? For you young whippersnappers out there, you may not realize the importance of this rivalry, and you may not know why it's a rivalry because the two teams haven't played very often in the last several years. Well, I'm going to explain to you young whippersnappers what makes this game such a big rivalry. Before I get into that, let me just ask that you please subscribe to my channel. Please smash that like button on my video. It really helps me out. And leave comments to let me know what you think about this rivalry game and how important it is to you and why you think it's special. All right, now let's get into the things. What makes a rivalry game? I think there's 5 things you got to look at to make a rivalry, a good rivalry. 1, you've got close geographic proximity. 2, you've got similarities between the programs. 3, they've played each other a lot. 4, there's been some really good and close games in those games. And 5, there's a history. And I think this rivalry has all 5 of those criteria, meets all 5 of those criteria. Let's start with the history. The rivalry the team started playing each other in 1912. And they've played each other 52 times. So there's a lot of games in there. The history and a lot of games kind of go hand in hand. Between 1912 and 27 and now, they've played 52 times. West Virginia has a slight edge in victories, boasting a 28-23-1 record in the series. In the recent history, Virginia Tech holds the advantage. They've won the past 3 times, and they've won 7 out of the last 10. The last game was in the opening game of the 2017 season when they played at a neutral site at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. And most Mountaineer fans remember that being Will Greer's first game in a Mountaineer uniform. And unfortunately, the Mountaineers lost that game, 31-24. And which meant Virginia Tech got to keep that Black Diamond Trophy in Blacksburg, and it's been there now for over 6,000 days. It's too long, Mountaineers. Bring it back home. All right. So they go back a long ways to 1912. They've played 52 times. But what's even more critical in making this a rivalry, in my opinion, is the fact that between 1973 and 2005, which is a 33-year time span, they played each other every single year. And that's how the rivalry really got built, playing them every year after year after year. Between 1991 and 2003, they were even in the same conference, the old Big East, which made the games even more important. Now let's go to you got to have some of these games need to be close, right, to be a rivalry? Well, there's been a lot of close games in this rivalry. Let's start in 1979. West Virginia has a quarterback by the name of Oliver Luck. Virginia Tech leads at halftime 23-6. Oliver Luck and the Mountaineers come out second half, mount a comeback, and win the game 34-23. Let's jump forward to 1993. WVU wins the game 14-13. Virginia Tech had a chance to win the game late with a field goal, but missed. West Virginia had 5 turnovers in that game and was still able to pull off a victory. West Virginia goes on that year to go undefeated and play Florida in the Sugar Bowl. And Tech goes on to play in the Independence Bowl that year, which was enough to save Frank Beamer's job, ironically. Frank Beamer was actually on the hot seat at one time at Virginia Tech. Let's move up 6 years, 1999. WVU leads the game, 20-19 with a minute 15 seconds left on the clock. But there's one key factor that West Virginia doesn't have. That's a freshman quarterback by the name of Michael Vick. Michael Vick, with a minute 15 left on the clock, brings the Hokies down the field on a game-winning drive that's culminated with a 44-yard field goal by Shane Graham to win it for the Hokies. The Hokies go on that year to play Florida State for the national championship, eventually losing to Bobby Bowden's squad. But West Virginia gave them all they could handle and almost knocked them out of the national championship game. 2003, Virginia Tech's ranked number 3 in the country. They're coming to Morgantown to play a Mountaineer team who's 2-4 with a new coach named Rich Rodriguez. Easy win, right? Wrong. The Mountaineers roll 28-7. 2004, the Mountaineers are ranked number 6 in the country. Virginia Tech wins 19-13 on a close game in Blacksburg. Finally, 2005, the last time these two teams played before the 2017 matchup. West Virginia lost one game that year. Guess who it was to? You guessed it, the Hokies. Virginia Tech dominates West Virginia with a huge 34-17 beatdown of the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers had a bad taste in their mouth. Had to wait all the way to 2017 to try to get the taste out of their mouth. Still didn't do it. So hopefully 2021's that year. Now let's go to the similarities between the programs. Both schools have similar enrollments of around 30,000 students on campus, on their main campus. There's satellite campuses, online students and stuff that account for more, but if you look at their main campuses, each school has around 30,000 people, give or take. They're both located in the Appalachian Mountains. They have similar cultures, and they recruit the same region of the country. They usually recruit about the same level of talent, for example, in their recruiting rankings. I look back in the 2010s decade, Rivals.com put together a list of the top schools in the nation and that ranked their recruiting classes. Virginia Tech sit at number 25. West Virginia was at 36. But they're only 11 points down, so they're in that 25 to 40 recruiting range, and both teams have been there for the most part. For the last several years, have both been within that 25 to 40 range. Thing that really makes it a rival to me, the main thing to me, is the geographic location. Virginia Tech and West Virginia, their campuses are separated by only 250 miles. Morgantown, West Virginia to Blacksburg, Virginia. Blacksburg, Virginia sits only 30 miles from the West Virginia state line. There's a lot of Virginia Tech fans in the southern part of West Virginia because of the proximity. So there's a lot of local bragging rights at stake. And vice versa. There's probably a lot of West Virginia fans on the Virginia side of the line. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of local bragging rights at stake. So listen, you young whippersnappers out there, got a little bit of education as to why this is such a big rivalry. And for us old dogs, we know why it's a big rivalry, and we love it. And I can't wait for Saturday, 12 o'clock kickoff. Hopefully the Mountaineers will eat some turkey. Have an early Thanksgiving dinner, baby. Listen, I hope you like my content. If you did, please smash that like button. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about this, your thoughts on this upcoming week's game. I'm also have a preview show coming where I'm going to break down the teams and give a little bit of insight on where I think West Virginia has advantages and disadvantages, and whether, some matchup breakdowns and whatnot. So anyway, I appreciate you staying tuned in and hanging out on Kuz's Corner. Until my next video, peace out.